G'day survivors and welcome to my 2021 Kibble Farm sort of guide. Now I say sort of guide because there are so many variables that come with the Kibble system that it would be pretty important to ensure that you know exactly what you are after when you are wanting a Kibble Farm, and we'll go through what that actually means throughout the video. So to begin with, let's talk about the different kinds of kibble. Now there are 6 different kinds in total. There's basic kibble, there's simple kibble, there's regular kibble, superior, exceptional, and extraordinary. And obviously rating from the worst to best. So what does each of them do? Well, kibble is the best taming food for creatures, provided that you need to perhaps knock them out or passive tame them. Not every creature takes kibble. Compies, for example, and dimorphodons would rather raw mutton as opposed to kibble. So yeah, just gotta be careful and stay up to date with the dodo decks and whatnot in regards to what the creature you want and what its preferred food is. So I'm going to take you through a couple of designs that I've been playing around with and what I believe to be the best creatures for each of the different kind of kibbles. Now, I personally wouldn't actually use a kibble farm for every kind of kibble. I would only do maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3 kibble farms. That way it does several things. It keeps the amount of dinos that I have down, which also means I can build a smaller base. Building a smaller base means that I can remain incognito and remain hidden, which is pretty important in this game, especially if you're on a PvP server. But nonetheless, we'll go through. So first on our list we have basic kibble, and as you guys can probably hear, the best layer is the dodo. Now unfortunately they are very vocal and they're rather loud, but as you can see here underneath, they just lay eggs for days. They just don't stop. So how egg laying works in its raw form is that creatures of just about all kinds, except for aquatic creatures, have a chance to either defecate or lay an egg. And most of the time they'll defecate, and sometimes they'll lay an egg. Dodos have an increased chance of actually laying an egg as opposed to defecating, as you can tell based on the amount of eggs that are around the place. But don't be fooled, the egg spoil time is a lot longer than the feces spoil time. But nonetheless, how can you increase these chances is by ensuring that all your dodos are mate boosted. So just have a singular male amongst your lot here, and the rest of them female, because only females can lay eggs. Next, have an oviraptor close by, overload it with stone so that way it's not able to move, and then ensure wandering is enabled in its radial menu, and that will then increase the egg buff. Now, what does mate boosting do? Mate boosting essentially just doubles the chance of a female laying an egg. The oviraptor decreases the interval in which the RNG gods will decipher if an egg or a piece of feces is going to come out. So it's normally, well, legend has it that it's normally every 17 minutes. I don't think it's actually that long, especially not for dodos at least. And apparently it goes down to 11 minutes 20 seconds with an oviraptor. But again, I don't think it's that long for dodos. Dodos, for some reason, just seem to have their own mechanics, and it's going to take a lot of studying and research to actually determine the chances of feces to egg ratios, and how often it changes, like how often you get that chance, and how often how often that would change with an oviraptor involved. So that's basic kibble. If you're wondering about the design, it's very simple. I've tried to stick with a 3 wall high design. This is extendable in every direction. You can go higher, you can go wider, and you can go deeper. So it's completely up to you. This is just to show the base layout. Using catwalks as the shelves for the dodos to sit on, and when they defecate or lay an egg, it'll come out of their butt and it'll land down here and you can just come along and pick it up. Easy as. Next we have simple kibble. As soon as I can close the door. Oops, I accidentally just picked up a glow tower. Alright, so simple kibble, and I found that the best creature to use for simple kibble are the glowtails. So they're easy to tame, you don't need to worry about what level they are because you're just using them for eggs. They're very easy to put on these shelves, the same as the dodos, and with their butts hanging over the edge, they will also lay eggs. Now this is more like what you're going to see for most egg layers because, well, apart from the one here that I accidentally picked up, there was two. So yeah, this is going to be the way that you see most egg layers sort of laying their eggs. This is where the mechanics are more in line. Dodos are just super weird and follow their own rules. So the pulsating egg icon means that they are being affected by an oviraptor, so it's a good thing. Still using the stone to weigh it down, and making sure that there's one male to mate boost all the females. And that's all there is to it. Again, this is completely extendable and up to you. If you would rather have a lot more glowtails and get rid of the dodos, then by all means extend out the glowtail kibble farm and continue on like that. Now we move on to regular kibble. And the creature that I've chosen for regular kibble is the Ichthyornis, the seagull. You know, the thieving prick that steals everything out of your inventory. So these guys actually aren't bad layers. So I think it might have something to do with birds. I'm not entirely certain, but these guys take a slightly different tact. So their hitbox is a lot larger than that of the dodos and the glowtails. You can actually just stick a catwalk along the middle and then just throw the Ichthyornises off to the side, and their poop and eggs will just fall down to the ground like so through these gaps. Again, completely extendable. You can go in that direction, you can go deeper, and you can go higher. It's completely up to you. Next we have superior kibble, and I found that the moss chops was the best creature to use for superior kibble egg laying. Now this is primarily because of how easy it is to tame and the availability of the moss chops and how small they are. So because they're quite small, they can fit just as they are on a 1x1 sort of frame, side by side, and the male in the middle for the mate boost. Now this design that you see in front of you utilizes ramps. Now ramps would normally allow the eggs to roll, as that one just did a little bit. Unfortunately though, it appears that the hitboxes might be stopping them from rolling a smidge, but nonetheless you can probably get in there, grab your egg, again go in there, grab the egg, and go in there and grab the egg. So this is extendable, so you can go higher with this, and you can go deeper, so you can continue on past the moss chops there, but you cannot go wider, because the entire reason this works is because the ramps go down into a central point. So you just walk along the ramp and you grab the eggs as you go. So that's superior kibble. Next we have exceptional kibble. Now exceptional kibble was an interesting one because all the creatures are massive. You've got gigas, you've got rexes, you've got the Megashalon, you've got what was that other creature? I can't remember it now. But nonetheless, the Theri was at the end. Oh, sorry, Quetz. Quetz also had the exceptional kibble eggs. So Theri took the cake. It was, well, one, it's the smallest. Yeah, I felt as though it was the smallest. Two, they are quite readily available. Theris are not a rare creature. They can be tedious to knock out, and more so to sort of just kind of keep down. But they do fit, singularly on these frames. So one Theri is just one foundation wide. So I've tried to keep to the 3 walls high ruling that I said at the beginning of the video. So this is the formation that I've come up with. It's just an L shape. The male is here in the corner, mate boosting all these females with the Oviraptor, again, full of stone to weigh it down, making sure that wandering is enabled. And this then will allow you to collect the eggs as you see fit. This one's actually doing a really good job there. But nonetheless, now that's the exceptional kibble. So now we move on to the best kibble in the entire list, and that's extraordinary. Now this is a lot harder for several reasons. One, Deinonychus do not defecate, and because they don't defecate, they actually don't lay eggs. The reason why they are here as opposed to something else like a voidworm or crystal wyvern or a magmasaur, Utyrannus, what else is there? Regular wyverns, etc. The reason why the Deinonychus are here is because, one, you don't use extraordinary kibble very often. Extraordinary kibble can be difficult to make, and at any point in time, if you were to actually need the extraordinary kibble, set all your females to mating, and then just turn your male onto mating. Once you've had all the females drop their eggs, their fertilized eggs, turn the male off, and you can use the fertilized eggs as your kibble source. So, because Deinonychus are so little, you can fit quite a few of them in a small area. So we've got 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. So basically in a 2x3 square, essentially, but this just allows us to be able to duck in between them to be able to actually grab eggs and whatnot. In a 2x3 square, we have 9 females that are capable of laying eggs once every 2 days. Like a maximum of 2 days. It can be less than that. So whenever you do need the extraordinary kibble, then this is the formation that I'd be sort of using for it. Magmasaurs, you wouldn't use those because in order to get eggs from them, you need them to breed. Not to mention they are massive. Voidworms are very hard to tame, and again they are quite large, and that's the same issue with the wyverns. When you need to steal their eggs to begin with and then raise that young, you need to technically steal Deinonychus eggs as well, but Deinonychus don't take anywhere near as long to actually sort of raise up. I think crystal wyverns are perhaps a viable option, but they are also quite large. This literally just comes down to the fact that the Deinonychus is just so much smaller than the other creatures. And I think that just about wraps it up. So we've gone through the best laying creatures that I would personally pick if I had to make a kibble farm. And I tried to make them as compact as possible, going upwards as opposed to outwards, and depth. So that way it saves space for you guys. So if you're in a cave and you need a quick kibble farm for dodos, then using this compact design here, you know, you can get all the eggs that you would need in order to make your basic kibble. Basic kibble is also the best food to use when refilling a Daedon's food stat after healing a bunch of creatures and all that other stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys have learned something new. This did take me a little while to put together, and my channel had started to sort of run a little dry. I am working on a massive project at the moment. You guys will hopefully be seeing that in the next couple of days. It is big, and it's so far I've had to make 60 odd videos for it. I've uploaded about 15 as we speak, and they're all on a private playlist waiting for me to be able to finish off the other videos, edit them, upload them, and all the other stuff. So yeah, big project, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But nonetheless, hope you guys found this video informative and somewhat watchable. And I'd like to thank you guys for your patience with me. I know that my channel I haven't uploaded anything for 2-3 weeks now. So hopefully this somewhat makes up for it and keeps you guys appeased for the next couple of days. So drop a like, subscribe, and share around. And as always, I appreciate the support that you guys have given the channel. And I will see you in the next one.